So today I'm joined by Erik Miller from Kyzen Corporation. Great to see you, Erik.
Good to see you, Trevor.
Okay. So we're at a very different show from the ones that we normally meet at, Semicon West here.
Yep.
What are the typical applications for Kyzen Chemistries in the back end and front end semiconductor manufacturing?
We don't really do anything in the front end because we're primarily a flux cleaning company in kind of in the space that you are as well. But in this space, we're really looking at a wafer on the back end. It kind of either goes to bumping or to wire bonding in some fashion or another. So kind of depending on which direction that goes depends on which path we take. But again, primarily focused on flux cleaning.
Okay. So I'm guessing you're looking to get rid of some of the debris coming off the wafer, some of the fluxes that are in there. What are some of the issues around that?
Well, pitch is always, things keep getting smaller and smaller.
Yep.
So that's one. The other is, the metals there's a lot of exposed metals. And so compatibility with those metals, whether that's a copper, a nickel, an aluminum, some other more exotic metal, is really important. And so not only is it about cleaning, but it's also about balancing that to protect those metals and to make sure that you're not etching them.
Right. Because you typically use heat in the process.
We do, yeah.
So how does that affect what you're doing?
That's all part of the balance, right?
Part of the balance.
The heat helps you clean things, but again, as an example with copper, it can also be a detriment to have too high a temperature. So it's finding a balance in the chemistry to allow for some of that heat and give some protection to the metal, or not etching the metal but still cleaning it.
Right. Now, are the concentrations different in this industry as compared to your normal board assembly industry?
It depends on the applications, but typically yes, because there's a lot of water used in this industry to do the cleaning or to try to do the cleaning. So a product that can be used at 2 or 3% can bring a lot of efficiency, a lot of that balance that we talked about. So it just depends, but they tend to be low end 2-3%, high end 100%. So it just kind of depends on the application that the customer's doing.
Right. I mean, water, is that really effective once you get down to these really small geometries? I mean, or do you really need to start adding a bit of solvent in there?
You're fighting surface tension and viscosity. So a little bit of detergent can go a long way in helping reduce your surface tension so that you can get under a component or under a tight feature. So yes.
Okay. So I mean, most of the back-end packaging, of course, is out in Asia, places like Malaysia, etc. Are you looking, by coming to a show like this, are you looking to get the attention of the people who are specifying the process, the cleaning? Is that why you're here?
Yeah. Again, a lot of decisions are made in the U.S. and in Europe for things that are manufactured somewhere else, but there's also a fair bit of onshoring that's happening.
It's true.
And so I think the dynamic of this show is probably going to change a little bit, where we were looking for those OEMs and specification. I think with the onshoring, there's going to be some opportunities to do some of that more domestically than it's traditionally been.
Right. But that onshoring presumably will come back to Mexico, or is it coming back to the U.S.?
Yeah, I mean, there's been discussions about, not discussions. TSMC is coming to Arizona. Samsung's doing a lot in Texas.
Yeah. Global Foundries are talking about coming in.
I think it was Intel was in Ohio. So I mean, some of it's going to Mexico. I think the OSATs are going to end up landing in Mexico, but the front end, back end wafer production is going to get onshored here to the U.S.
Yeah.
And is getting onshored here to the U.S. So I think, again, that changes the dynamic a little. So.
Well, it's certainly a dynamic space. I mean, the U.S. CHIP Act is still sitting in the Senate, but we'll wait and see how that turns out. Anyway, great to see you, Erik.
Great to see you.
Thank you for coming in and giving us an update today.
Yeah, my pleasure.